for the Boston Celtics.
JJ, what must Steph Curry do tonight for the Warriors?
He's got to make this a track meet. Look, we talked about the switching with the Celtics. They switch more pick and rolls than any other team in the NBA, and the Warriors have been the worst team in the league against direct switches on pick and rolls. They've got to use the off-ball movement to make people chase Steph Curry over and over again. This is where his conditioning, which is elite, as good as anybody in the NBA, will come into play.
And I think that's an underrated part of his game, too. I think everybody talks about the shots, the scoring averages, things like that. That doesn't describe the whole Steph. It's the conditioning. It's the moving without the ball. That's what makes him so great. So let's talk about Steph for a little bit. 4 wins away from his 4th ring. JJ, if Curry adds another title, where is his place among the all-time greats? Everybody's talking about winning the Finals MVP. That's part of it, yeah. Where's his place among the all-time greats if he wins a title?
To me, he's easily already a top 10 to 12 player.
Ooh.
And if he wins a 4th championship, I think you can cement him in that top 10. The hard part, of course, when we talk about the top 10 is, well, who are you going to move out? Are you moving Wilt Chamberlain out? Are you moving Bill Russell out? Like, there's as time goes on, top 10 is going to mean more and more because we're going to have 20, 25 guys that are worthy of being top 10. But I do think if he wins the 4th championship, you got to move somebody out. He's in the top 10.
Oh, my gosh. We'll have to change top 10 to top 11. Vince, what would a win in the finals mean for Curry's legacy?
So, when we talk about these players, I typically like to wait till they're finished to see how this story ends first and foremost. But I think he's right there, just like JJ said. And, he wins this championship and I'm going to say and wins the MVP. It opens up another door that a lot of guys don't even know exists. That elite door, it'll say elite status door, that he will now get an opportunity to have the keys to open because I think what he's done, as, primary scorer, all the attention, but he's an unselfish elite superstar. Like his ability, like JJ said, to be in the best shape, to with his movement, to create opportunities for other players to win because he understands how important they are. That should be factored in. That means something because most superstars want the ball in their hand to prove that they're the superstar. Steph doesn't need it, per se, to be that superstar.
I love that you mentioned that because it brings apart the idea that it's not just about him scoring and him dominating, but about him contributing to the team and making the team great. So when you look at Steph in that vein, Vince, do you think that if he wins this title and or Finals MVP, that it puts him on the same level, if not a greater level than LeBron?
Whoa. Well, I don't want to use the word greater.
Where did that question come from?
I thought I heard something. Yeah, JJ. Whoa. It stopped me right here. But no, I think he deserves to be in the discussion. I think he's in the discussion. And by any means, I'm not saying he will be better than LeBron James. But I think when we talk about what he's done over the course of his career and changed the game, he deserves to be in that conversation. I will say that, I think he deserves to be in that conversation now. But now when you mentioned, who changed the game, who are some of the icons of today's game, and you're going to mention LeBron James, but you have to say LeBron James. Oh, yeah, and Steph Curry as well.
Yeah. No, I think Vince brings up a great point here. And that's, we have to wait till the end of Steph Curry's career. And at 34, he definitely still has some great years left. So we don't even know what his accolades look like at age 38 or 39. The key thing here with LeBron is just the longevity, the sustained excellence that we've seen now since 2003, 2004. Steph's run here, while incredible, is really since 2015. So I do think the longevity of LeBron, the All-NBAs, the MVP, like all that stuff, that factors in to why he's so great.
And let's not forget, LeBron has had, and again, we can all debate this, LeBron hasn't had the kind of teams that Steph has had, especially in recent years. LeBron's had to carry teams. But on the other hand, I look at it and I say, well, Steph is kind of a winner, and he defers some of his opportunities and talent in order to build for the team.
Draymond talked about this yesterday in the press availability. He talked about the whole system, the whole organization, everything starts with Steph Curry being a selfless star.
Yeah.
The greatest example of that in recent memory is Tim Duncan. Pop was great, Tony Parker was great, Monty Ginobili was great, but if we're being honest, it started with Tim Duncan being so good and so selfless, and Steph is the same way.
And that's what I think is missing from the discussion when people say, is he great if he doesn't win a finals MVP? Because I think it ignores the fact, Vince, that he is so selfless. And sometimes when you are selfless and you can't take all the shots and you're not scoring 40 a game, people tend to look at it as if, well, he's not as good as we think he should be. I think somebody brought up the point that he's averaging 26 points a game in the finals. Unbelievable.
But Ryan, you said it already. His ability to create for others and make others better by not having the ball in his hand. Like when Steph Curry, and JJ knows this when I say this, in scouting reports, you obviously you know him in pick and roll and transition, but when Steph Curry is getting a single or double pin down, guess where all eyes are going? On him. And guess how fast he runs off of screens. He'll run just as fast to get the ball as he's not getting the ball, to be a decoy, because he understands the attention will be on him to get an easy layup for another player, which can be a big bucket in the game. We're talking about late game situations where guys will run to half court to get the ball just so they can get in the. No, Steph will stick to the script, do what the system calls for to create the best shot for his guys. And a lot of guys can't do that. I'm going to tell you, I was a superstar player. I wanted the ball in my hand, and then we can go from there.
There you go, honesty. That's what I like. Now, I want to get to somebody else who's very honest. You guys brought him up. Draymond Green spoke to ESPN, and I think this is interesting about why he believed this Warriors team could return to the finals. He says, because nobody had beat us. No one has ever beaten us whole, ever. Has not happened yet. In 2016, I got suspended from a game in the finals. In 2019, KD goes down during the finals. But then you follow that over to Cleveland. No one has ever beat us whole. And whole is the key word right there. JJ, do you agree with Draymond that this Warriors team is unbeatable when they are fully healthy and whole?
Well, I don't know about if I agree that they're unbeatable. I do agree with what he's saying. I mean, it's a factual statement that he just made. Okay, they have not been beat in the finals when they are whole. But again, I don't like playing this what-if game because we could do this every single season. Right. We could play these what-if games. I mean, over the last 7 seasons, there is literally some sort of asterisk you could make to every championship. I can make the same argument in 2015. The Cavs weren't whole. Kyrie was hurt.
That's true.
Kevin Love was hurt. Right, like they were missing for that series. So I mean, look, he's not wrong in saying no one's beat us whole in the finals. But I also think that the what-if game is a dangerous, slippery slope.
Yeah, the winning percentage, you see it right there, off the charts.
Yeah, because it's a flip
when
side.
They're all three healthy. But go ahead, Vince.
No, like you said, it's a flip, like JJ said, it's a flip side to it. Like they were whole, but what happened on the other side that they took advantage of? They took advantage of those opportunities. He's not wrong. I mean, and they have a great team. And if they're whole and when they get their complete team back this year, they're defensively, I think they're great. And they add Otto Porter, who's a capable 3-point shooter. But, at the end of the day, anyone's beatable. It just depends on the situation.
Hey, Vince, do you think he's just thinking this team is maybe a little underrated? Maybe he thinks this team doesn't get the respect they deserve?
This is Draymond Green empowering his team, regardless. He's going to let you know he's looking out for his guys. There's some, the BPIs are saying Boston by a landslide. Well, guess what? He's letting you know when we're whole, we're unbeatable.